falling down. I was talking on a podcast earlier today, and I was just saying, I'm like, there are specific things that slim girls do that they don't talk about openly. And I learned about them as I stepped into this new arena with myself, when I created a fit identity, when I decided that I was going to change my relationship with my body, that I was going to change my relationship with food. There were specific things that I learned and saw and witnessed. And I've been doing this. I've been a weight loss expert. I'm specialized in supporting women in releasing dieting and healing their relationship with food and their bodies, and understanding their emotional connection and the psychology behind our connection to food, our emotions, and self-sabotaging behaviors. Now, as a result of that, I've witnessed a lot of things. I have an entire book called Eat Right for Your Archetype that breaks down 4 specific eating archetypes: the avoider, the nurturer, the rebel, and the perfectionist. I have a video here where I go in depth on this. It's really fascinating. If you're interested in that and you want to take the Eat Right for Your Archetype quiz to find out exactly what personality type you are, to understand your eating patterns and how that plays into how you show up for yourself in life, self-sabotage, and the foods that you choose, I will put a link. It's actually down below. It's called Eat Right for Your Archetype. It's the quiz. Now, let's get into this, because I want to just share with you specific things that I see that women do, and I learned about them too. So if you go back and you look at my body and growing up, and I was just talking about this, I just picked up my aunt from the airport, and we were looking at pictures of me, and I'm like, was really a chubby chubby kid, adult, like in high school and college, and I can go into this more. But what I really shared, and if you don't know about me, I do want you to know I am credentialed. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I have a background. I'm also a fitness expert, and I specialize in the psychology of food, women, and self-sabotaging behaviors. So I've been doing this for 20 years. I have a lot of background in this, and I want to share with you a few key things. So let's just dive into it. First and foremost, what you will see, slim girl secrets. Slim girls are not doing all of the coffee drinks that you always see. It might seem simple, it might not seem like a big deal, but they're very aware of their caloric intake, and they are very aware. Hi, Keaton, it's so good to see you. They're very aware of what they're putting into their bodies. They understand that the majority of women have had some sort of experience with dieting. Right? Now, there are some, this is not everybody, but I do want to say this, guys, let's keep it good in the comments. I don't have a moderator on here. But I just wanted to say, so thank you. What I wanted to tell you though is they're really, really in the space of being aware of what they're putting into their bodies. They're not just wasting their food on just calories, like things in coffee drinks with whipped cream and syrups and all of this. They know how they want to look, and they know how they want to feel. Another thing that I will tell you with Slim Girl Secrets is they have no problem sharing their food. They might order the burger, they might order the pizza. You might see them and think, how come I'm eating a salad and they're eating, a donut or a cronut? But I can tell you this, they're having a small bite, they're putting it down, and they're sharing it with their partner, they're sharing it with their kids, they're sharing it with a friend, or they're just not touching it again. You will see them kind of move the food around. That's more of disordered eating that you will see in a coined term called orthorexia nervosa, which is when somebody is more under the guise of, I'm so healthy that I have this food restriction and this food restriction. So you'll see that, and sometimes you will see that they will order foods that you would never expect, or that you very rarely see them eating. But I do want you to know that's only happening very rare. It's like a 10% of the time. And like I said, they're only having a small portion, a small amount of that food. That they are not consuming everything on there. You're not going to see them have a slice of pizza and then go back for 2 and 3 and then have a piece of cake. That's just not going to happen. Okay. Next thing that I want to tell you is If movement is not a part of their routine, they are more active in general. So they might not be a gym person. They might be like, I never go to the gym. I've just always been this way. I just say that. But I can tell you that they move more throughout their day. They're not very sedentary. And they're aware that they're doing that. They're aware of movement. They're aware of the food consumption. They're aware of their portions. They are very aware of what they put into their bodies. This is why when I'm teaching women how to release weight without dieting and how to get back in connection with their body, I always say, please get measuring spoons. Please know what you're putting into your body, because if you don't know, then often when we're eyeing portions, you're doing yourself a big disservice, especially if you're going to the gym and you're working out. I cannot tell you the number of clients that I've had that are like, I eat clean, I eat organic, I'm doing all the right things. But what they're doing is they're having like 5 sources of fat in their smoothie, and they've got half of an avocado, and then they're really doing like a 1/4 cup of oil when they're cooking, as opposed to they would tell you, oh no, it was only a tablespoon. These things matter when you're looking to move the needle in weight loss. So if you've plateaued, if you're struggling to release weight, the more knowledge you have about what you put into your body and how much food your body needs, the better. Next thing that I will tell you is most slim girls, I'm just calling it slim girl secrets, but if you look at those women, salads are their friends. They generally eat a salad at one of their meals in some form or fashion. So they're not just always talking about carbs. They are not big snackers. Things are more controlled, right? Their food is controlled. It's either smaller portions, portioned out sizes, 100-calorie packs of this, a smaller protein bar if they have it. But food is not the focus, is what you will notice. Now, the other thing that I will tell you, like I said earlier, is you might see them order all the things, but watch how much of it they're actually consuming, okay? It's fascinating, but you will see that it's not that they don't eat it, but they don't have a problem putting it down and walking away, right? They don't have the dieter's mentality of, I blew my diet, so I just had that, so I'm not going to have any more. They don't have the, oh, well, I already ate that piece of cake, so I might as well go with some ice cream and I'll just start my diet over on Monday, or the weekend's here, or today's my cheat day. They're just very much in, I can have what I want. They have it in moderation. They're not tied to it, but they're very cognizant that they're not going to go overboard, because they're more tied to how they look and how they feel than to the food, right? Whereas a dieter is really caught up in their relationship to food, their emotional needs being met with food, and this feeling like they can't have it. There's a whole thing going on, a whole different dynamic. Okay. Now, the other thing that I will tell you with Slim Girl Secrets is they're also, they will easily forego a meal for a glass of wine or their vodka drink or tequila. Also notice though that their alcohol beverages of choice are also the healthier ones. So they're going to go towards champagne, Prosecco, red wine, white wine, light wines. They're not going to go for a Riesling or a heavier, they'll go for a clear vodka drink, tequila. But again, you will notice that they're very much aligned with things that are lowering calories and work within what they know works for them and for their body. So a slim girl secret that I can tell you is many of them are very aware of their bodies. They're a lot more connected to their bodies. Not in a sense, it doesn't always mean they're healthier. I'm simply just saying that they're aware of how calories impact their bodies, and they're more tied again to how they look and looking a certain way and feeling a certain way. And their focus is more on that than it is on the food, right? Which is a good thing. They've shifted, but it doesn't always mean that it's not coming with restrictions and then rebellion, right? I always say where we restrict, we'll rebel, and it doesn't mean that there isn't a cloak of perfectionism over that, and then they end up having, a binge over here. I'm not saying any of that. I am sharing, though, the overarching, when we look at there's certain things that women that stay a certain size in that slim girl, when you're seeing all these videos on YouTube, there are certain things that I don't want to gatekeep, because even as I released weight and got into fitness, became a fitness competitor and won Best Body and different things of that nature, there were a lot of things that I saw and I learned. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Slim Girl Secret number, what are we on, 5 here? When it comes to fruit, it's fascinating, but they often go towards berries and versus having a lot of, banana or things that are heavy with dates and higher in sugar, more condensed sugar in fruit. They will go for things that are lower in calories, higher in fiber, kind of more bang for their buck, if you will. And that's something that you will see more often than not. And the last thing that I want to say to you is when they say they eat whatever they want, they do, but they only eat whatever they want about 10% of the time. Meaning they're having a bite of this, a bite of that, but they're not doing that consistently. They're not having pizza 7 days a week. They're not, I'm just using pizza as an example. Clearly I'd like some pizza. They're not having, a burger and fries and ice cream, every day of the week. It's a few bites, a few fries, a bite of the ice cream cone or the milkshake, and then they tell their partner to finish it, or they give it back to their kids, or so there's no deprivation, but they're not overdoing it. And that's really comes back to the key of weight maintenance and releasing weight and coming into I'm not saying that any of what I've discussed today is necessarily, we're not talking about getting into, oh my God, this is healthy and this isn't. But what I am saying is if we're using somebody that's just, let's use the example of a woman that keeps herself in good shape, is healthy, is cognizant, she eats what she wants within reason, but she's aware. She's aware. She likes to keep her body a certain size. She likes to feel a certain way. Food is not the focus, is the number one thing there. 2, her relationship with food is not always, but we're hopeful that it's more one of a healthy relationship where it's the focus is on the people and on the experience, and I can have what I want here and there within reason, but it's not about the food. There's no emotional hangups with the food, and there's no binging and things of that nature. And so these are things that you do want to notice. The other thing that I want to tell you that's a really, really big one is before parties, before weddings, before dates, and before big events, many women, this is a slim girl secret, will eat something healthy that works for them so that they aren't stuck finding themselves hangry or in a situation where they're going to eat something that's not in alignment with the way that they want to look and feel in their bodies. And you will notice that many will do this. And it's not always necessarily because, oh my God, but if they are particular about the way that they eat, or if they are vegetarian or vegan or pescatarian, or they just want whole foods and real foods, then that is something that they're going to do. And they are going to they're going to have something beforehand so that when they do go to that dinner with friends, when they do go to the wedding, when they do go to these things, they can just have a simple salad. They can focus more on the people. So I just want to say these are things that do go on. And I was not always aware of them beforehand. And I remember I'd be like, God, why aren't they starving like I am? Or what are they finding to eat here that works? And those are the things that make a big difference. Now, the last thing that I'm going to tell you is generally slim girl secrets. I know when we talk about, as a nutritionist, I'll always say shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Be in, you've got it. Thank you so much, Grace, for, basically having more whole foods, right? But I also want to tell you that, again, just notice portions and notice how much they eat of things. That is not the focus. But I will also tell you that like I said, they're aware. And so if you're sitting here and you're going, I really want to not be so hyper focused on, I can't have this. So for instance, I have a program called Love Your Body, Lose the Weight. And it is a holistic program to help women heal their relationship with food and their bodies, and to release weight without ever dieting, and to fully be done with dieting for good. Right? It was it's what I did for myself, because I was an emotional eater. I was a chronic dieter, and I thought that was normal. I thought that's what every woman was doing, and it was really unhealthy, and it ruled a lot of my life. And unfortunately, it detracted from a lot of my life. And, I just didn't have a healthy self-concept. I was really, really insecure, and I was fixated on dieting. I was either up 10 pounds or down 10 pounds, but no matter what, I wasn't happy. And I often will talk about this with the women that go through that program. It's almost like you're in your own prison. You're either hating yourself fat or hating yourself skinny. So either way, you're working against yourself, and it's not a fun place to be. So I knew that I was committed, because I never wanted a woman to feel the way that I did, or to struggle the way that I did, which is why I created this program. I'm sharing all of that with you because one of the things that, you learn in there is that making food, I always say, if you've been on a diet for more than a year, you don't have a weight issue. You have a relationship with food and a lack of one with yourself, which was hard for me to hear when I first realized that with myself. But I saw that food was filling all these emotional needs. When you look at your life as a pie, I noticed, wow, there's a lot of areas in my life that aren't fulfilled. They're not full. And I'm using food to, fulfill my needs, to fulfill my own personal feelings of inadequacy, and here's the crazy thing with food. And I wasn't meaning to go here with any of this. I was just going to come in and do a kind of a short about some slim girl secrets here. And because I was like, I don't want to gatekeep these, or whatever they know. But what I want to tell you is that, oh, Jesus and I are like this, that I really, really saw that food takes on, for women in particular, human form. It takes on a form of connection. In that way. And you don't realize it, but this is why so many women and men diet and then put the weight back on, and diet and put the weight back on, and diet and put the weight back on, because food is actually human connection. It takes on the form of a friend. It's always there for you. You learned at an early age to rely on food to soothe. And it becomes a primary, survival technique. Now, yes, we need food to survive, but in an emotional capacity. And so shifting out of that is really liberating, because then food just becomes food, and then you enjoy it, but there's no additional pull of, oh my gosh, I need to keep eating, or I want to numb out, or I just want to feel weighed down, or I need something to occupy my mind, or so I don't have to think about this or that. It just becomes food. You could take it or leave it. Doesn't mean you don't enjoy it. I'm Italian. We love food. Doesn't mean you don't enjoy it. It just means it doesn't have an emotional hold over you anymore. You don't feel like, oh, I need to eat that, or when can I get that again? Or, oh my God, and now I need to lose weight, so I have to restrict myself. It no longer is about that anymore, right? So that's a really beautiful thing. So I just want to say, if that's you and you're struggling at all and you want any support with that, we do have Love Your Body, Lose the Weight. It is on sale, 50% off. I'll make sure to put the link below. There's also a ton of free resources to support you. Like I said, I never want somebody to be in a space of feeling like they're alone or struggling, or just like, why doesn't anybody get this? And why? I always heard from women like, why does it seem so easy for everybody else and it's so hard for me? Or what's wrong with me? Or how many diets, and I can't even tell my partner I need to go on another program, and I'm just so sick of my body, and just really fighting against your body. And what I want you to know is your body wants you to be at your ideal weight. And when you really learn how to connect in with your body, it will tell you exactly what foods to stay away from. It will tell you exactly what foods are going to help you to lose weight. Your body will guide you 1000% to your ideal weight for you to optimal health. I say this as somebody, my body guided me, it healed me from cancer. I'm like, I can go on and tell you so many things. This is the primary, I believe the body is the key to really, really helping you to transform not only your body, but your life in a multitude of ways, and to really helping you to trust your own intuitive guidance and to tune into your body. And as women and dieters and frustrations with the body, too often we're fighting ourselves. We're disconnected. We don't know why we eat the way that we do. I would do talks all over the world and I would say to women, why do you eat the way they do? And I'm like, why are you eating 5 times a day? Why are you eating 3 meals? Why are you intermittent fasting? Why are you? And they're like, I read I should. Some diet I did once, but they don't actually know why. And not everyone's body is the same, and not everyone's body needs to operate that way. Those people that created those different diets and things to follow, that's what worked for them, right? But it doesn't always mean it's going to work for you. And it's so important that you learn what your body needs and that you meet yourself with love and you connect in completely. And that will be the most powerful thing that you could ever do, because what always happens without fail is with acceptance, we release the weight, and it just happens. So it's really, really powerful and really beautiful. So this was a bit of gatekeeping secrets of what slim girls do. So I gave you those first 8 tips in the beginning of this video, and then I shared with you some psychological and emotional things that are necessary for you to transform your relationship with your body. If you want any other assistance or help from me, we have links below to any of our courses and programs and products and anything that I can support you with, along with a ton of free resources. I am here to support you every step of the way. You deserve to feel and look amazing, and it's time for you to thrive in life in a body that you love, and I'd love to help you do just that. So stay tuned. We have incredible videos coming up this week. I will see you. I'm normally live here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and our other regular videos drop on Saturdays and Sundays. I'll see you then. All my love. Until then, bye.